Congress now demanding answers from Ticketmaster about the Taylor Swift fiasco. The House Energy and Commerce Committee plans to question the CEO of Ticketmaster's parent company, Live Nation. Lawmakers say they want to meet with Michael Rapino next week to ask what went wrong and how it's being fixed. Millions of Taylor Swift fans were unable to get tickets to see the singer-songwriter perform, and many fans who had access to the pre-sale say they were met with delays, lockouts, and aggressive bots. Ticketmaster's apologized, saying the site couldn't keep up with the overwhelming demand. Apologies are apparently not enough. Our legal analyst Whitney Traylor joins us now. So instead of apologies, what do people who are suing Ticketmaster want instead of an apology?
Right. Yeah, they don't want an apology. They want a number of things. And this is a number of individual plaintiffs. So it's not a class action as I originally thought. And as of 2 days ago, there were over 50 plaintiffs. So they'll all have their own individual claims. And so what they're seeking is there's violations of consumer law claims, which is $2,500 per violation. And some of them for the distress that they went through. There's one plaintiff who she logged on and actually checked out 41 times, was charged the 41 times, and never got the tickets. She has subsequently been reimbursed. But it's really that time and effort that they're suing for.
Will the court, though, say if all of these people have the same lawsuit that they will eventually bind them into a class action? Can they force you to go that route?
I don't know if the court can force you, but I would suspect the defendants would seek to have it as a class action because right now it spreads over 13 states. Now it's in one action, but that may be part of the plaintiff's strategy is to have multiple cases ongoing, which is very expensive to defend.
And I know you mentioned earlier it's in California because they do give you some money, but it's really not about the money in this case. What do they really hope to do? What do they hope to invoke change?
Right. Yes, very much so. One of the big things, and this has been since 2010 when Ticketmaster and Live Nation merged, there's been people calling for to break them up because they're saying they have a monopoly and they have 70% of the ticket sales. And so part of the lawsuit is saying that, for example, Taylor Swift can only play in stadiums. Well, the stadiums all have exclusive rights with Ticketmaster. And so this is where the monopoly comes in, and they're saying we can't get tickets with anybody else. And the problem is that when you don't have any competition, you give a bad product. And so the tickets are expensive and the process doesn't work. And so they're saying we actually want competition because that will make companies and commerce better.
So you're talking about Congress, the courts. I mean, there are a lot of people coming for Ticketmaster right now. Ticketmaster is very well connected, very powerful operation. They have a lot to say and do about what happens in the industry, as does Live Nation, the parent company.
Correct.
So do the millions and millions of Taylor Swift fans and fans of other events. I mean, there is nobody, no pedestrian person is in Ticketmaster's corner.
Right.
So does this play into this at all as far as Congress, maybe more than the court, but
yeah,
it might be a factor.
No, I think it's a great point, and this is an example of people power, and I'd say the Swifties, they got so much, this is what Amy Klobuchar said. She said they got so much feedback, and AOC actually said right into the DOJ, and they got over 30,000 emails. And so I think this is an example of it getting attention because of the volume, because you remember in the 1990s, Pearl Jam took on Ticketmaster even before this, and it didn't get any traction. And so some people are saying the difference is you have all these Swifties very angry about it.
Taylor's got influence.
But that's what I wonder. Where's Taylor Swift going to come down on this? Because she has her fans to look after. And Live Nation and Ticketmaster provide a lot of money for Taylor Swift Incorporated. So it'll be interesting to see what she has to say ultimately about all this.
Well, and so far she has said it's been a disaster and has alluded to the issues with Ticketmaster, but you're exactly right. She has these relationships too. And in the complaint, they listed a number of does, meaning we don't know who the other defendants may be. I was surprised. A lot of times when you sue everybody and then see what happens. They didn't name Taylor Swift because some could argue that, well, the contract was to actually see you perform. But everybody's saying, no, it's the ticket distributor that really has the
Heck, they still want to
power.
get to the concert.
Well, it used to be, you'd have to sit outside and wait online and buy the tickets, hand over your money and get the tickets.
That's
and now
exactly
that it all takes place online, it's that mystery spinning ball when you're waiting for the tickets for a big show that people
And that's some of the technology, and they're saying that people were charged different amounts and things like that. And so that's why Ticketmaster and Live Nation, when they were merged in 2010, were under a consent decree so that they wouldn't do this. And that's one of the allegations, is that they violated the consent decree.
Well, they're under a lot of pressure. We'll see what the pressure brings and what comes from it. It's always good to see you.
Good to see you all.
Thank you, Whitney.
Thanks.